Welcome to Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. This podcast delivers insights on what makes businesses, teams, and people successful based on real-life business experiences. Following a career with America's largest associations, JP Murray founded the Murray Company, one of Washington, D.C.'s most successful consulting firms. The company was acquired successfully and enabled him to launch JP Murray Racing, a business development and sponsorship agency for auto racing teams. Here is JP.
Hello there. Welcome to the Push to Pass podcast. This is JP Murray, the go-to show for all things about sponsorship, sales, and the world of motorsports. I'm grateful to be with you today. I've got 5 tips. This is the topic. 5 tips for business success that I've learned over the last 40 plus years. I'm going to go through them in order for you. Number 1, sales. You get what you get, not what you deserve. I've seen professionals and very good technicians that want to launch a business, but they spend very little time establishing their sales infrastructure. And don't get me wrong, they're good at what they do, maybe the best technician, let's say in accounting, but without a full sales operation, the business won't meet its potential. And that means that you don't have to be a good salesperson yourself to launch a business. Don't get me wrong there, but the responsibility really must fall on somebody. So you need something in place to generate that new revenue and keep the recurring business in place. Number 2 thing, kind of related to that, is hustle. Outworking not only the competition, but everyone that is in your industry ecosystem. Some new business owners want to launch a business to keep their own hours and their own lifestyle. And that is great, but let me prepare you for something. Those hours are going to be 24/7, 365 if you really want to elevate and succeed with that new operation. Before I launched the business that I had, I thought I brought a work ethic that was pretty good and pretty important. And I learned that, frankly, another level was required. And this is something you ought to speak with your spouse and your family about. They need to know that certainly you're going to have some flexibility to be able to go to the ball games and things like that. But in exchange for those things, the likelihood of you working on a Wednesday evening at 9 o'clock at night is likely. I learned that the hard way. Become known as the hardest working company in your industry. Not just the competition. Here's why I mean that. Your clients want to hire that type of energy and high level of work because in some cases, they may not be getting it from their employees a lot of the time. So there's no substitute for hustle and showcasing that as a core part of your value proposition that you provide your clients. The next thing, number 3, is marketing by gaining attention to drive sales. If you don't gain attention with your small business, you're in an uphill battle. With all the tools we now have to build brand like podcasts and video, I'm really not sure what the excuse is to not knowing how to communicate and build brand and market at scale. It just needs to be good content and communicating up to all the different platforms that are available. Find the ones that work for you, but don't mistake it. For small business, marketing is a top 5. Number 4, this one's probably surprising. Well, it surprises me. The backbone of success is process. A successful sponsorship business, for an example, requires solid processes in place from crafting contracts to launching and executing projects seamlessly, a process for sales, a process for collecting new data on prospects and potential companies that you could work with, even onboarding employees or people that you work with. And I understand early on how some of these best practices may be things that you're not focused on because you're working on growing and you're working on bringing new clients in. So if I had to start on processes from the very beginning, I would do them in accounting and finance review, systemize the launch of new projects and client service. And then third is, of course, a rigorous sales program and the measurement of key kind of activities in that area. Hello, friends, it's JP. If you're a company or a team that's looking to build and improve its motorsports partnership program, call me at 703-732-0837. Now, back to the episode. And then the final thing is, and I was a little surprised that it creeped into the top 5, but as you may know, I've been in the motorsports sponsorship business for the last 2 years after about 40 years in association business development and consulting. So I learned this kind of over the last couple of years. The key to success is you've got to have some expertise or a track record and reputation that people are going to trust and want to gravitate toward. And I think I appreciate now the nuances. Understanding the ins and outs of the racing world is very important so I can execute sponsorships better, so I can reach people that may be interested in it. And that was something that I probably didn't appreciate in the first year of doing this business. If you're not the expert, you need to hire that expertise or develop a business network that does have that type of expertise that you can learn from. However you start to gain expertise and build that credibility and just become more versed in your new space, that is essentially very important. I thank you for listening or watching on our YouTube channel. And if you're a brand and you would like to know a little bit more about sports as a platform to grow your company, hey, I'd be happy to chat with you about it, tell you what my experiences have been and how I've learned. Send me a direct message on LinkedIn. That's probably the best way to reach me. I look forward to speaking and visiting with you next week on the Push to Pass podcast. So long, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. If you would like to sponsor Push to Pass, send an email to jp@jpmurray.com. Follow JP on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. His website is jpmurray.com. Until next time, push yourself to pass the competition. Thanks for listening.